Welcome to the Rescheck blog. Today on the Rescheck blog, we want to talk to you about a Rescheck is what? What you want to do is go to Rescheck info and go to the Rescheck blog and you'll click on the blog post. And now I will read it to you. Many people arrive at the Rescheck info homepage and Rescheck blog for one simple reason. They want to know just what a Rescheck is. The Department of Energy have done amazing work creating Rescheck web and Rescheck desktop softwares and answering all different types of questions about Rescheck reports and exactly what they are. We offer a Rescheck service, and in the end, we end up helping a large number of contractors, architects, engineers, subcontractors, building departments, and building officials answer outlier questions about what Rescheck is and how it can be used to improve their construction projects. The easiest way to think of a Rescheck is that it is a report that explains how insulation envelope of your home will perform in a climate zone that you are planning to build in. It used to be the case that you could add insulation to places with less insulation to compensate for areas with less insulation that may not meet code. Rescheck allowed the structure to act as a total system, and the Rescheck report and Rescheck softwares took these components and gave them a pass or fail score. Now, the Rescheck insulation trade-offs are a little more tricky. Starting recently, you're no longer able to trade off slab insulation by adding slab insulation elsewhere. If you do not place the correct insulation in your Rescheck slab, your project will fail automatically. However, you can still do trade-offs in ceilings, walls, and types of foundations like subfloors, basements, and crawl spaces. Aside from Reschecks offering trade-offs, we return to the initial question of Rescheck is what? Reschecks are created using the Department of Energy created software, Rescheck Web and Rescheck Desktop. The key differences in Rescheck softwares are that Rescheck Web is hosted online and Rescheck Desktop will be downloaded to your computer. What you will do when you're ready to create your Rescheck is the following. Get a full-size set of plans, not actually required but recommended. Find R value of ceilings, walls, foundations on the plans. Find the U value in Shgc of all windows and doors. Find the square footage of windows, doors, ceilings, walls, and the foundation. Once you have this information, you'll navigate to either Rescheck Web or Rescheck Desktop and enter it into the software. After all the above information is entered into Rescheck software, the question of what is a Rescheck becomes more clear. You can now print off a finished product that's called a Rescheck report. This is what you will turn into your building department along with your plans to start construction of your new home, addition, or alteration. What this tells your building inspector is that you followed the applicable code for your jurisdiction and that you use the proper insulation values for each of your components. In closing, a Rescheck is a report that allows everyone involved to see the insulation expectations on a project. It allows you to know beforehand that your home is using the proper protection against your local climate zone so that your finished construction does not become a money pit of energy efficiency, allowing you more comfort in the finished structure and allowing you to keep more money in your pocket each month when the energy bill arrives. Rescheck.info is a Rescheck service, and if you need a Rescheck, we're currently offering them for $79. The lead time for a Rescheck is 4 to 6 hours. To get started, you can email us your order confirmation, plans, job site address, and square footage, and we'll get you taken care of. If you're ready to get started, go to Rescheck info, and you'll go to the top side of the screen, click Buy Now. Once you're there, click on the $79 Rescheck, and you are ready to go. Thanks again for listening to the Rescheck blog and Rescheck podcast.